Across human history, civilizations have risen and fallen, each leaving behind monuments that define the limits of their imagination. Pyramids carved from stone, temples hewn into cliffsides, towers that pierced ancient skies, and telescopes that opened windows into the universe. But today, in the age of spaceflight and global communication, our ambitions have expanded far beyond mountains or continents. They now stretch into the cosmos itself. In the past decade, one nation, China, has rapidly accelerated its presence in space. Space stations, lunar landers, solar probes, quantum satellites, and long-term visions of interplanetary exploration have positioned it as one of the most ambitious players in the frontier beyond Earth. But in recent years, a new idea has captured imaginations around the world. Is China planning, preparing, or exploring the possibility of building a Dyson sphere? The phrase itself sounds like science fiction, a megastructure that surrounds a star, capturing nearly all of its energy output. A structure so vast, so incomprehensibly ambitious, that it would represent technological mastery on a scale beyond anything humanity has ever attempted. And yet, whispers of research, proposals about massive solar power satellites, and discussions in scientific journals have led many to ask the question, is this merely theoretical research, a long-term goal, a distant dream, or the first step toward a project that would transform humanity's relationship with the sun? To answer, we must understand what a Dyson sphere truly is and what such a colossal undertaking would require. The concept of a Dyson sphere began not as an engineering plan, but as a thought experiment. In 1960, physicist Freeman Dyson proposed that a sufficiently advanced civilization, what we now call a Type II civilization on the Kardashev scale, would eventually seek to capture the full energy output of its star. His idea wasn't a solid shell enclosing the sun, but rather a swarm of solar collectors, satellites, and habitats orbiting in a dense cloud around the star. Such a structure would gather power on a scale millions of times greater than anything we currently produce. The idea was revolutionary, but also symbolic. Dyson never expected that humanity could build such a structure in the near future. Instead, he suggested that if we ever observed such an energy-harvesting swarm around another star, it would be a telltale sign of alien intelligence. Yet today, the concept has taken on new life, not as an immediate engineering blueprint, but as an inspiration, a target on the horizon of possibility. It represents the ultimate expression of renewable energy, the absolute mastery of space industry, and a vision of humanity harnessing the cosmos instead of merely living within it. China's recent discussions about massive space-based solar power infrastructure do not mean they are building a Dyson sphere now, but they reveal a direction, a trajectory, a recognition that the future of energy may lie not on Earth, but above it. China's long-term research into space-based solar power imagines structures far beyond anything currently orbiting Earth. Engineers envision satellites kilometers wide, capable of gathering sunlight and beaming energy back to the surface using microwaves or lasers. These concepts remain experimental, but they mark a major shift, a recognition that energy can be harvested more efficiently in space, above clouds, weather, and the limitations of day and night. Some proposals in scientific papers go even further. They imagine orbital factories, automated construction systems, and swarms of tiny solar collectors working together like a vast mechanical ecosystem. They describe long-term pathways, first small satellites, then large platforms, then multi-node networks, and eventually, in the distant future, a Dyson swarm-like configuration. None of these are near-term engineering realities. They are sketches of possibility. But sketches matter. Every skyscraper, every rocket, every particle accelerator began as a sketch. China's interest in these ideas does not mean it is building a Dyson sphere today, not next decade, not the one after. But it shows that the nation is thinking on cosmic scales, imagining a future where humanity's energy supply might come not from Earth, but from the sun itself. To even consider building a Dyson swarm, the most realistic form of a Dyson sphere, humanity would need to achieve feats of engineering that make today's megaprojects look tiny. We would need manufacturing on a planetary scale, millions, perhaps billions, of autonomous satellites, a supply chain that extends from Earth to the Moon to the asteroid belt. Entire worlds of resources would need to be mined, smelted, shaped, and assembled in orbit. We would need spacecraft that operate continuously, building and maintaining structures across millions of kilometers. Artificial intelligence would become essential, not as a convenience, but as a necessity. And human civilization would need a level of cooperation, stability, and imagination that transcends borders, politics, and competition. A Dyson sphere is not something a single nation builds. It is something a species builds. And we are not there yet. But the path towards such a future begins with smaller steps: solar power stations in orbit, lunar mining operations, robotic construction technologies. These building blocks are the seeds of a distant vision. If China one day committed itself to building even the first components of a Dyson swarm, it would signal the beginning of a new era in human history. An era in which space is not just a realm of exploration, but of industry. Not a frontier, but a foundation. It would mean that Earth's energy limitations, fossil fuels, environmental impact, land usage, could eventually be bypassed by infrastructure orbiting far above the planet. Such a project could redefine geopolitics, economics, and even the future of civilization. It would require collaboration on a scale never before attempted. It would invite competition, innovation, and new scientific revolutions. And it would push humanity closer to becoming a multi-planetary species. But it would also demand caution. Immense power brings immense responsibility. A Dyson swarm capable of harnessing the energy of the sun could be used to lift humanity or fracture it. These ethical challenges will define the future as much as the technology itself. So, is China building a Dyson sphere today? No, not yet. But the fact that such conversations are happening in universities, in aerospace institutes, in long-term research roadmaps tells us something important. Humanity is beginning to think beyond planets, beyond orbits, beyond the limits of our own horizon. We are no longer imagining only what we can build with our hands, but what we can build with our collective future. Maybe one day, centuries from now, our descendants will look up at the sun and see not just a star, but a constellation of human-made structures glittering around it like a great mechanical halo. If that day comes, it will not be because one nation built a Dyson sphere. It will be because humanity dared to dream big enough to try.